My mother delivered me in our one-room house in Adike, a province in Eritrea. My aunt, who was a midwife, was involved in assisting the delivery, which financially helped my father from not having to spend for labor charges. My mother did not want to take painkillers because high value was given to natural birth. Even though birth control was encouraged by the government, my parents believed it to be unethical in terms of a religion, and so they had one child 2 years before I was born and wished to have at least 2 more children.
The Eritrean government has achieved a lot in terms of reducing infant mortality in our neighborhood by organizing free health vaccinations nearby. My daughter was provided with every necessary vaccine but the one for tetanus. And now her aunt has discovered that she has the disease as she had fever, joint pain and nausea.
I was named after my baptism and they gave me 2 names, a given name and a Christian name. The name Abeba means flower, and my mother decided to give me such a name because she wanted to treat me with great love and wanted to express it easily by just addressing me. I attended my first day of school when I was 7 years old because it was mandatory according to the Eritrean government and my father was forced to send me. I walked to my school along with my father and the teachers assigned me my daily classes upon my arrival. My first lesson for the day was English and the teacher asked me to choose an object that was laid out in front of the class and the teacher asked me what it was. Then I replied, cup. Everyone in the class started laughing because they were aware of some words like these prior to this day. My teacher consoled me and she asked me to say it the right way 12 times. As I expected, my parents continued to follow the Eritrean convention of having 4 children by having 2 twins who are boys. I have never celebrated my birthday and I've almost forgotten when it is. My mother informed me that it was my 10th birthday because my age was turning into double digits. So my father bought me a pen and I declared it as the best day of my life. Even though education is free of cost in Eritrea, there are many other expenses such as books and uniforms. Today I was supposed to hand in the money for the books that they gave me last week and I've been dismissed and not allowed to continue studies. My daily routine begins when I wake up at 6 in the morning and I get freshened up. I enter the small area for cooking and I cook injera, a cuisine similar to pancakes for breakfast. We prefer to use it because it requires readily available and inexpensive ingredients. Then I go to my school with my father. After I come back home, I revise some knowledge that I gained from the school. For lunch, I and my mother will cook hamli, which requires a very few ingredients and moreover we get some of it from my mother's workplace. Then I tidy up all the things that are handled by my younger brothers and I clean the house. The government of Eritrea has banned the religious ritual of female circumcision as a rite of passage and moreover my father is against it because he believes it's physical torture and the abuse of children's rights. Instead, my father forced me to work in the same farm as my mother goes to in order to recognize me as an adult as well as my physical capabilities. My father has found me a man and has not requested my approval for the marriage and his name is Asmara. He has looked at his dedication as a worker, thriftness, level of responsibility for becoming a parent, wealth and virginity. My father managed to arrange 3 heads of cattle to give to the future son-in-law's father and organize a small feast at the time of collection. My father met with the priest and decided a day for the marriage. I got married on the 20th November 1980 at the age of 15 and I was taken to my bridegroom's house. The day after I arrived at my husband's house, I was ordered by my mother-in-law to do all the household work and make breakfast for the family before the men leave for work. Soon after, I and my mother-in-law take care of the small crops grown behind our house and do all agricultural activities such as sowing and fetching water. Later in the day, I will prepare remaining meals for the tired men. My life was moving in a very boring direction as I had very less time to spend with my husband. One day I experienced discomfort in my stomach, which was a traditional sign of pregnancy. This was a great change for me. I gave birth to a baby boy 9 months after being pregnant and I'm very excited to be a mother. And we named him Betha, which meant pleasurable, because he brought happiness to my life. The war between our country and Ethiopia was going on from 1998 and almost 19,000 people have died from its chaos. One day, my husband was walking to his workplace and he was shot in the head and when a fire broke out. I was not allowed to remarry again as I had given birth to a child. Now I'm going to the same hospital that my aunt works in and I work there as a cleaner. The wage that I receive is not a lot, but it's more than the money that I would get when working in someone else's farm. I have to work for 12 hours and thereby I'm not able to take care of my child. I'm not feeling very good today because I coughed some blood and I'm feeling very sick and tired. Later today I experienced some chest pain and I felt it every time I took a breath. My mother passed the information given by my aunt to me by saying that I have tuberculosis and it was transmitted from my father as we lived in the same house together with a close relationship, resulting in me inhaling his expelled droplets when he coughed severely. After months of no treatment, the wounds in the lungs have been infected by bacteria. This meant that I would experience death in a couple of weeks, and all my families were tense and confused on how to react. I am now laying in my bed and praying to God to give me a less painful death.
Our family spent 2 days mourning with regards to this loss. On the day of the funeral, we wore black clothes and gathered in our house along with our existing relatives. Both genders sat on either sides of the body and they expressed their condolences with loud cries. My sister offered me some money, and I used it to make some arrangements for the burial outside the house beside her father.